I am Taurus Speech, also known as Work via Instagram. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Today is a very special day. December 20th actually marks the 20-year mark since my beautiful, sweet angel, also known as my mom, went on to higher places, known as heaven, to dwell with our Heavenly Father. A lot of people are familiar with my story, but I will spare you the details in today's episode. But if you care to know the details of my mom, that video can be found somewhere on Facebook. Maybe it's floating around if you just Google it. But long story short, my mom was actually murdered by the hands of my biological father. I was the tender age of 6. Myself, as well as my 2 older siblings, Jeshua and Ananda, speech 3, shout out to them. We were all there to witness the tragedy that ultimately shook our world and changed our lives obviously for forever. I always say to some extent that you're never the same when you lose a parent. Whether that's for you change it for the better, you change it for the worse, something in your life is going to alter, especially when you have a good and healthy relationship with that parent that you lost. As for me and my mom, that was my best friend. There were times where my mom, she was just always my shelter. She was always our shelter. She was always our peace. She was always our calm in the storm. She was always there in just the nick of time. And our little innocent, what more trouble can you get in as a child life? She was always there. I remember a time where I was outside playing, and we were playing hide go seek, and somebody cheated, okay? And they started making fun of me yet again. And I remember running into the house, and my mom, it's like she was watching. It's like she knew. She had already had the door open before I could open the door. She was already opening it. She was standing there. She was listening to Luther Vandross. She had her big fro out, and she was dancing. I don't remember what the song was. And she looked at them kids, and she flicked them off. And she slammed that door, and she took my hands, and I promise you, all of my worries, all of my heartache, all of my little hurt feelings, everything was better because she just had that natural essence just to make everything better. And then on December 20th, 1997, that was all taken away from me. Not only was my mom taken away from me, but she was taken away from me by the hands of a man that was supposed to love her, by the hands of a man who was supposed to be my first definition of how a man should love, my first demonstration of how a man should love. What do you do when your routine, when your peace of mind, when a piece of your heart is taken away from you? This episode is ultimately to all of us out there who just need that pick me up and just that connection between you being hurt and you being healed, you being enslaved versus you being free. And ultimately for me, I've said this before too, and it's definitely worth repeating, forgiveness and freedom are interchangeable. You cannot be free until you forgive someone. You can't consider yourself to be liberated until you acknowledge the fact that, ooh, that thing has a little bit of power over me. Let me handle that by healing myself and forgiving them and moving on with my life. And that's exactly what I had to do with my biological father. It didn't happen overnight. Lord knows there has not been one day, I promise you, that has gone by that I have not thought about my mom in whatever aspect that may be. I wonder how much I really look like her. I wonder how different life would be. I wonder how she would advise me to handle this. I wonder. But I'll never know. But it doesn't change the fact that I still will never know. But I'm here. I am still here. You are still here. There is still work to be done. You still have a vision. You still have a dream. You still have a purpose to live out. And you cannot do that if you are not at your best self. And that starts internally. It starts in your mind. It starts in your heart. It starts with a decision and the mindset and a profound philosophy and wanting to be better so that you can do better. It starts with forgiveness. That is the key to your freedom. Forgive and move on. Because whether you like it or not, life is going to continue with or without you. But I'm here to let you know that somebody out there needs you. So you have to keep going. I'm stubborn to a certain extent where I do find myself to be submissive in certain situations that I feel are responsible and God-led. I don't mind submitting, but I'm very strong-willed. But I'm not stubborn to the point where I will hinder something being better, because if I'm too prideful, then that's a whole different situation. But if I know that the ultimate goal is going to promote something greater and bigger than me, I'll give in. And that's my message to you. You're probably going to have to give in. If you desire to be free, if you desire to be better, if you desire prosperity, if you desire closure and a peace of mind, you're going to have to give in. And that's okay. That doesn't make you weak. If anything, that makes you stronger. It makes you wiser, because you know better, you do better. And in turn, that's going to put you in a better situation, in a better circumstance. Ultimately, I challenge you to no longer live in bondage due to you feeling resentment, hurt, pain, hate towards something that happened to you, whether it was caused by someone you know or someone you don't know. I challenge you to free yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and you will just feel the weight of burdens lifted off of you. I know that if my mom, if heaven had a phone, if I could have a conversation with my mom, I feel like she would want this. She would want for me to still honor my father. She would want me to still tell her story. She would still want me to be talking to you through this video to push you, to let you know that even if somebody took away a loved one in your life, that we're gonna see him again. That's what she tells me all the time. Baby girl, I'm gonna see you again. Maybe not when you want to, but we're gonna see them again. But for now, my mama told me to tell you that you have to live your best life. And you cannot live your best life enslaved and chained by what someone else did to you. You gotta let it go. You have to free yourself, honey. That is my challenge to you. Don't wait until 2018 to be free. Your New Year's resolution starts today. It's gonna be hard for some, might be easy for a little bit more, but I'm here to let you know that you can do it. 20 years later, my mom, she still lives. She lives in me. Every time I pull my hair up in this big old bun with this big old forehead popping, I see her. And I want to let you know that she sees you. So if you can't find the strength just to do it for yourself, do it for my mom. Free yourself, honey. I challenge you. I challenge you to get heart. I challenge you to do the work that's necessary to free yourself. And I challenge you to push through no matter how challenging, no matter how stubborn you want to be, no matter how much you want to roll your black girl neck or your whatever race neck and fold your arms. I challenge you to push through to greater. Today marks 20 years since I lost my beautiful angel, but today marks day 1 since you began to live the best life that God has planned for you on this side.